Everyone, please wash your hands and use hand sanitizer as often as possible, even when clicking on this video. These are questions that I'm fairly certain you will receive when going through the finance/investment banking interview process. This video is not supposed to serve as a comprehensive guide to all the questions that you might get in an investment banking interview process. This is a tough job to get. There's a lot of people that want this job. Some interviewers are tough. They know you really want the job. They know that the job is prestigious and they're gonna try to make it difficult. So don't rely on this guide as your sole source material for prepping. I'm gonna quickly run down through the technical questions. I'm not gonna provide any answers to these. There's an abundance of information online that will do an infinitely better job explaining these to you than me. Wall Street Oasis, Wall Street Prep, Mergers and Inquisitions, YouTube. Walk me through a DCF. You better be able to walk that interviewer through a DCF. Hold his hand and walk through the park. What is an LBO? At slightly harder firms, they might even ask you to write a paper LBO. What are the 4 valuation methods? The 3 financial statements: balance sheet, income statement, cash flow. Learn how they are all independently and also know how one flows through the other and how they're connected. And then you might be asked things like beta, WACC, like not like that's whack, but like WACC, WACC, capital assets pricing model, CAPM, I think capital, CAPM, and a variety of other things that might be considered middle or hard level technical questions. They're gonna push you until you can't answer because they want to see how much you know. It's not gonna hurt you to know more, but also know that technical knowledge is not gonna get you the job. It's more of a check in the box. Check in the box. Check in the box is not that good. Hopefully that doesn't scare away sponsors. I have no sponsors. Before I go into the behaviorals, there's a slight middle ground question area. They might ask you brain teasers. These are not financial technical questions, but they're also not behaviorals. For example, they might ask you, how many matches do you think is necessary to fill an airplane? They do not know the answer to this question. No one knows the answer to this question. They're checking to see how you think through problems. Don't go crazy over these. I would focus more on your English ability. I would focus more on your ability to think through problems like that. Just take the thing that I just said. How many matches would it take to fill an airplane? Don't answer it like, oh, if I light it, the light will fill the airplane. They're not looking for some creative answer. They want to know how you think. Number 1 question you're going to get, what's your story? Who are you? Walk me through a resume. You have to get this down, but don't get it too down where they know that you're reading off a script. I think most interviewers can tell the difference between someone who has put thought into it versus someone who is just dropping resumes. Think about what you have done, think about how it aligns to the job, and put it into a story and practice. It's gonna be fine. If I can do it, you can do it. I know this is a banking focused channel, but for those that have been following me for the past month, probably have noticed now that on Saturday, I'm posting banking related stuff. On Sunday, I'm becoming a little bit more creative. I'm trying to use this as an outlet, so no need to watch if you guys only care about the banking stuff, but seriously, this is not even a promotion. Just go watch the 100 people in Chicago tell me, I don't even know the name of my own video. 100 people in Chicago say what makes them happy. That video is awesome, makes me happy. You really want to know what investment banking, in a similar light, they're going to ask why investment banking. Also seriously think about this question. Before you even enter the recruitment process, think about this question for yourself beyond the interview. Do you want to do investment banking? And if so, why? I would shy away from stereotypical answers like, I want to be with the smartest people. Think about something that's specific to you. In the same vein, what's really important is why this firm specifically. This might be a little hard, especially because so many of the firms are the same. Try to find something special that makes you a fit for that firm. Go on their company website. Look at the big buzzwords. You'd be surprised at the number of people that don't delve in to these websites and try to dig for what makes that firm special. And this is where that networking comes in. You're gonna be able to pick up on things from networking that other people don't know about what makes that firm special. This is the time to unload everything you've heard from networking and say, hey, Bob told me this during a call, Sarah told me this during a call, and that's why I want to work here. Here's another series of questions that I can't give you the answer for you. I'm starting to realize maybe this is not as helpful as I thought it would be, but how do you deal with adversity? When was the time you faced something difficult and how did you handle it? Have you worked in team settings? What is a big project you worked on and how did you manage it? How do you manage time? What does your Outlook inbox look like? Do you have a planner? And how do you use it? I touched on this a little bit earlier, but this is really when your networking is gonna pay off. You're gonna know things that kids, I need to stop saying kids. I realize I'm Also, kid, you're gonna know the little things that people dropped as they were talking about the firm, about the job, what they like about the job, what makes them a good banker. Make sure you deploy all those things. Don't overly name drop, but make sure you implement those things in your answer, because it's gonna make you seem like a ready candidate, but also someone that's very interested and put in time beforehand. And then overall, this should come without saying. Is that the expression? This should go without saying? Chicago? All right, I'll shut up. Be professional and friendly for the duration of the interview, but not just the interview, from the moment you get there. Every single thing is gonna matter. I'm not saying they have a checklist saying, oh, Brian used his left hand instead of his right hand to shake his hand. He sat with his legs crossed in the waiting area. But everything feeds into the interviewer's perception of you subconsciously. Make sure get that firm handshake in, dress nicely. Every single part should be very professional. On the flip side of that, this balance might be a little hard. Be friendly. They can teach you the technicals. They can teach you the investment banking part of investment banking. It's hard for them to teach you to be someone that they want to work with. That's really what they're looking for. Is this someone that I could spend 70, 80 hours a week together aligning logos with? Just kidding. You're gonna spend a lot of time with these people, and they know that too. They're looking for someone that they want to be friends with, that they want to work with. And that is perhaps the most important part of the interview. I know that sounds corny, but I can't emphasize enough that is crucial in the interview. A couple last minute tips. Arrive early, 15, 30 minutes early even. You might be able to get some FaceTime in with people that are getting ready for your interviews. They're gonna like that you're there early. You never know what might happen. It might be raining, security might not work, the elevator might be slow. Just in case, print out your resume and have it ready. The firm will most likely have a copy for every interview, but you're gonna wanna have it just in case. Bring a notepad, pen or pencil to make sure you can take notes. If time allows and you feel comfortable asking, I would ask for their business cards after the interview so that you can email them a thank you note after the interview. I would also say a lot of interviews might have a meal before or after the interview. Make sure you're still on alert mode during this time. Just focus on the idea that from the moment you land at that airport to the moment you leave, everything is part of the interview. The most important question you're gonna get, and I can't stress this enough, is whether or not you've watched my videos. Yeah, I need to stop. Thanks for 900 subscribers. I will see you guys at 1,000. I learned that you guys care more about skills in investment banking than what makes people happy. Shame on you. Capitalism. You gotta do what the market desires. Let's go.